podcast platform you listen to, and give us a rating or leave a comment behind. That will allow us to reach a larger audience out there to get our thoughts, our opinions, and our message out there. So the one thing that we try and do every week is make sure we tackle topics that everyone can kind of relate to. And before I get too deep into that, good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. I'm fresh out of the morning. I have no makeup on, hair up, total fresh. Fresh
this is
to
you.
death.
This is what we're getting, and
oh my God.
As Lisa streams this on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I'm Facebook living right now. Who cares?
We want to touch on a topic, and we teased this last week. Let's talk about why the hell job titles are so important in dating.
Ooh,
and that's the topic we're going to touch on
that's
today.
a good one. Why are the job titles? Really? Titles? That's
why are the
specific?
job titles? Well,
Okay.
here's the thing. It came up to me earlier in the week. I was texting a friend of mine, Megan, and Megan's a young kid. Megan's in her early 20s, and she worked with me here in Central Texas. She's gotten a job. She's still in the area, but she always had a thing where she would gravitate toward guys in the military. We have Fort Hood base over here. So she would always gravitate towards those guys, and then it became a joke, and it became a trend. And so now that she has moved to another city, she was like, oh, what do you think I'm doing this week? And I said, oh, I bet you have a date with a Fort Hood guy. She goes, actually, I do.
Wow.
I said, oh, there's shot.
Okay.
And she goes, well, to top it all off, he's also a cop. And cop in text message was in all caps, which means she was super excited to brag about that, which I think most women are when it comes to that job title.
I mean, whatever. If that's your thing, some women are into the corporate type. Other women,
everybody has a different thing.
Everybody's got their thing. Everybody's got their jam.
I thought about this over the next couple of days too, and I was flipping through TV, and you and I talked about Seinfeld, and I forgot Seinfeld had a clip all about this.
Really? What was it about?
Women need to like the job of the guy they're with. If they don't like the job, they don't like the guy. Men know this, which is why we make up the phony, bogus names for the jobs that we have. But right now, I'm the regional management supervisor. I'm in development, research, consulting. Men, on the other hand, if they are physically attracted to a woman, are not that concerned with her job, are we? Men don't really care. Men will just go, really, slaughterhouse? Is that where you work? That sounds interesting. So you got a big cleaver there, you're just lopping their heads off? That sounds great. Listen, why don't you shower up and we'll get some burgers and catch a movie.
We don't care.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know. I don't know about that. I feel like a lot of men now, especially high-value men, they're tired of the gold-digging kind of jam, and they want to know that the woman at their side has something going on, because there's nothing going on but the rent. Gotta have a J-O-B if you want to be with me. There's nothing going on but the rent. You got to have a J-O-B if you want to be with me. Ain't nothing going on. We're hitting a little old school on Friday.
Nothing going on but the rent, which actually just came out a couple days ago. As this podcast posts, the rent came out on the 1st. So
perfect. See,
the song is true to life. But
yeah,
I think
this day and age, both men and women, they want to know that there are no freeloaders. Nobody's trying to get over on the other person's paper. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got to be holding it down independently so that you can come together and build an empire.
So I know that you have Facebook Live going right now, and if anyone on there is listening that wants to comment, let us know, because I'm very curious on this. I didn't do a poll this week for this topic, but I did do some research on it.
Okay.
Because I have to go out there and find some numbers, as much as you love that about me.
Yes, I love that.
Single people say that these are the sexiest jobs that you can have, and this is on the New York Post.
Sexiest jobs.
Sexiest jobs that people are swiping right on, or however you want to say.
I wonder where Love Coach ranks on that.
Not on the list, honey.
On that list.
Sorry.
I'm on my own.
Besides, you're already taken anyway. But they did a study of a couple of 4,000 users on dating apps, and they were trying to figure out who swipes right on which jobs worse.
Wow,
so
interesting.
For men, apparently if you're a chef, if you're good in the kitchen, you are a hot commodity.
Wow, amazing, because chefs have no life. They're always at the restaurant and can't have time to date.
And they always complain. I know a chef. I know a couple of them. And there's always something to complain about. But they will have dinner ready for you. That is one thing.
Yeah, on like the rare occasion that they're not at the restaurant cooking for 4,000 people and they could actually cook for you.
Engineer coming in at number 2.
Okay.
Entrepreneur, which I think is a very open term because a lot of people will just say they're an entrepreneur. What the hell does that mean?
But really they're a wantrepreneur.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So entrepreneur is number 3. Being in marketing and then being an artist came in at number 5 for men. So those are the top 5 that women find the sexiest. What do you think the sexiest thing a woman can do for a guy is? Think of Seinfeld's
blowjobs.
Well, that's a hell of a job. If done correctly, still is a job. But hairdresser is the
hairdresser
number 1
on fire. Cue that up. You know that song?
I don't have it queued up.
I know. I didn't know you were going to say that. But that's interesting. Hairdresser. Do you know I cut my own hair?
Do you really?
Yeah. Cut my own. My own.
As you sit there and you toss. Oh, this whole thing?
Yes. I started cutting my own hair. I was inspired by my boyfriend who cuts his own hair to be like, girl, you got to do this on your own. So I went on YouTube and I typed in how to layer long, thick hair. And I found a guy that literally taught me step by step how to layer this bombshell mane of hair that I have.
Maybe that's why hairdresser is not on the list for women, because most of the good ones are guys.
And all the good ones are taken.
So, with that being said, nurse would be number 2, followed by lawyer, and then entrepreneur, and then a teacher are the top 5, at least in this particular study.
Okay, well, I would go as entrepreneur then, because I am a love coach and I have my own business. So there you go.
So you would fall into that category. And you are not a wantrepreneur. You are actually in it. You are doing big, big things that we'll talk a little bit more about.
Yes, the big things that happened while I was in New York. So fun. And also, amazing. I love these holiday, like, warm-hearted stories. I recently had a client get back with his mother of his child and proposed to her and said yes. Like, there was drama. Like, it started in like August and they broke up and it was drama and they were ending, and he came to me and he's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I love this woman. She's the mother of my child and I screwed up for 10 years and now I'm ready to be right and real and legit. I have a ring. And I'm like, oh my God, let's put this together. So we did it. We got him handled and sorted. And then he proposed to her, and she said yes. And she may not have. He wasn't sure. He wasn't 100% sure. He was head in the guillotine, and the LoveQuest Lisa came in and turned it around. You know that show? Remember that show? I don't know if you remember that show, Turnaround. It's like they have them, Bar Rescue, that kind of thing. These shows.
I know Bar Rescue. I know those shows.
Yeah, right? So, like, they have somebody come in, like an expert, to turn the situation around. I'm like Love Life Turnaround girl. It's like, tell me your drama, and then in 90 days, we're just going to handle it. And he did it in 45. Boom.
Ooh, that was the express train.
That was like, let's get it going. We got rings.
So you know what you're doing.
I do.
And congratulations to them. Absolutely, 100%. Congratulations to them.
And I vibe love. Everywhere I go, there are marriage proposals and things happening all the time.
Yeah. We'll touch on that in a little bit.
Okay.
But to come back here, I mentioned that list, that Chef was number 1. Tinder also did their own study. Pilot was number 1.
Mile High Club.
So I can see pilot as being one of those exotic job titles.
Yeah, but yet another career that you never see the person because they're high up in the sky flying around. Hi, babe. We want to grab a movie Saturday night? Nope, can't. I'm going to be in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, fun trip there. Got to stop in Rochester, New York.
Yeah. So when do I see you next? Next Tuesday. Awesome.
Tuesday. I'll be in town for 2 days and then I leave again for 4.
Yeah. Nah, not my
So
jam.
maybe these are the most lustful jobs. I don't know. Or maybe women just like guys that are good with their hands.
And uniforms.
And uniforms. What the hell is the deal with every position? Every job you have technically should have a uniform. But there are some that appeal more to, I believe there's got to be a sensor in a woman's brain that says That right there,
yes,
that is what I want.
Like fry guy at McDonald's, not such a good uniform.
Different uniform.
Navy pilot, hot uniform.
I mean, he has the need for speed.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Police uniform, Marines, good uniform.
Are those type of uniforms because women see it as, I mean, there's got to be some sort of primal instinct where it shows a man in authority. Women want a guy who can take charge in certain situations, and they have that look and that appeal that they're just going to take control
perhaps
at whatever given time.
And
Maybe that's what it is.
Perhaps, and even scrubs. Come on now.
Well, I can see I've heard the doctor thing is it's because they have a life saving. There's a nurturing aspect to it. There's something along those lines that actually has been studied. I can't wrap my head around certain positions
like Taco Bell uniform because it's loving tacos. Loving tacos after all.
And I did have tacos this week. I posted it on there.
I know they were beautiful tacos. They were beautiful tacos. Shout out to Mr. Pink. So we don't have that here in Miami.
It's good going down. No, you guys got different tacos.
I'm craving tacos. I'm hopeful that the party I'm going to tonight, hosted by Timbaland, yes, I'll drop a name, will have tacos. That'd be so
Not the
fun.
shoe brand, Timbaland.
Yes, the producer here in Miami is having a party, and I'm going to it as a guest of one of my clients, actually, and friend that I've coached. And, you know, coaching has its privileges, so hopefully there'll be tacos at this party.
Do you find that when you're working with your clients out there that, you know, and I think it would probably lean more towards people with higher education?
Oh, yeah, my people are on point that way.
Yeah, they're looking for certain levels of positions. Certain CEOs want to go with other CEOs. You're not going to see a CEO.
Not necessarily.
No? Okay.
No. So here's what's interesting about that. It's more about mindset. So it's not like if a guy that I'm working with or a woman that I'm working with owns her own company, she expects a man that she wants to date to have his own company. Like a woman that I coach, she holds it down. She has her own event planning company, all good. Does very well for herself. And she's more than happy and open to dating a guy who might be like a teacher or in public relations or, you know, car sales, whatever, as long as he isn't of a lack mentality and that he has financial solvency and a mindset of abundance. So if you're dating someone who is abundant minded, that means they could be a teacher, but they could be like flipping houses. They could be looking at investments. They could be using their money to advance and grow. And it's that growth track that I think successful people are more interested in than exactly what it is that you do. So it's more of like a broader mindset about money and finances. And, you know, people who go to restaurants and they complain about a $20 cocktail,
right?
That's a problem, right? Because nobody wants to be around that mindset. But when you ask the question, I want this, how can I afford that? How can I afford to eat at this restaurant? How can I afford this type of vacation? And you're starting to now think in terms of possibilities. That's exciting. That's an exciting mindset to get around. So for me personally, you know, my business could blow up any minute and just, you know, I could write a best-selling book. I could, whatever. The sky's the limit with what I can create with my business. So I would be cutting myself off from many, many different men and opportunities. And even my own boyfriend, if I said, oh, well, if I'm going to be a self-made millionaire, then I only want to date another self-made millionaire. Not really where I'm at. I'm more like, I want to date a man or be in a relationship with a man who matches my mindset and can evolve with me even more as I'm on my journey towards what it is that I want. It's a very supportive mindset, and men think the same way too. So that's why you have a lot of high-powered men looking for women who aren't gold diggers, who aren't looking for the freebie, but who will support them emotionally, come with ideas, encouragement, loyalty, you know, so that when this guy is crushing it on his business, he doesn't have to worry that his woman is out flirting around and misrepresenting their relationship out in public. You know, there's a lot that goes into that.
And I think the higher those standards are too, you're really narrowing down that pool to date. I mean, if you're a self-made millionaire and you're looking for a self-made millionaire, the options aren't really going to be as abundant as if you're just looking for someone who can hold good conversation with you, is open to doing this and this and this.
And on the flip side of that, think of it this way. If you're a self-made multimillionaire, right, and you're hanging out in the circles of that, you know, you're probably going to be socializing and dealing with people who are also a notch higher. So that's when you run into these situations where, you know, you're at a party and the self-made multimillionaire goes up to the bartender and says, hi, I'll have, you know, a gin and tonic. Right. And the bartender chick serves it up. They strike a conversation and all of a sudden they're like falling in love. Like, these are the rare things, but they do happen. Because sometimes it's more about the vibe than it is about, you know, who makes what money, who does what. Because that chick, that girl who could be behind the bar, you don't know. That could be her weekend hustle because she wants to get around the people who have the mindset so she can pitch an idea. Mm-hmm. I mean, Lord knows, listen, if I had a business and I was like, I want to get VC funding for my business, I would have a side hustle as a bartender for expensive parties and yacht parties and whatever to get around those people.
Absolutely. Serve up the champagne.
Right?
I think that, I mean, if you notice on any of those lists that I mentioned earlier in the show, journalist, news, anybody on TV, nothing like that is on there. So it doesn't bode so well for me.
I think it bodes amazing. I think it's amazing. But you're a news anchor.
Nobody seems to care. Nobody's really
Robert
knocking down my door. But
people need to know what's going on in their life, and that is the service and greatness you provide to the people. Own it.
I own it. I think that, you know, going into the mindset for me is obviously there's certain levels of education I think I vibe better with.
Yeah.
You know, for something like, I totally vibe better with certain levels. But I don't try and personally handicap it to, you know, oh, I'm looking for this particular. I've dated everything from the hairdresser who was fantastic in bed because she was crazy, to the person who was the high level VP at, you know, what was it? Soma Intimates. That's where she worked at the time. And so, you know, everything in between there. And I don't try and necessarily think of it as you need to have this sort of job or this sort of level. I try and think of it more as, you know, what kind of person are you? You know, the deal breakers for me. I mean, you can have all the money in the world, but if for me you've got, you know, a certain number of deal breakers that are crossed off the list, it's probably not going to work anyway.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm just so perplexed at people looking at just a specific job or honing in on specific uniforms or whatever.
I will just saying, also
that's what I gotta have.
I will add this. When I was way back in my 20s, my ex-husband at the time wanted to become a police officer, cop, detective. He wanted to go down that route, right? And while we were dating, I was very new and fresh with him. We were maybe together 6 months, and I said, well, I'm not marrying a cop. So either this isn't going to work out, or you need to change your rate. Yo, it wasn't about that. Do you know what it was about for me? It was about total codependency. It was, I can't handle worrying all night that you're going to get shot. I can't handle the danger because you know, what are you going to do? Be NYPD or New Jersey cop or wherever you're going to be? I didn't know. We lived in the New York metro area, so I'm thinking, okay, this guy, I had visions of disaster. I had visions like, oh my God, he's going to become a cop. Then he's probably going to go narcotics and he's going to end up in a drug shootout in like Harlem. It's going to be a disaster. And boom, there's my husband dead. And now I'm left with 3 kids because now he's dead. And I conjured up this entire doom and, you know, doomsday scenario.
That happens. Women do that all the time.
Yeah, because my whole MO was, when I was codependent head case, I did not want to be left. I had abandonment issues. I was like, no, don't leave me. Please don't leave me. Oh my God, don't die. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. And if I went and invested my love and my life into someone and they had a career that was fireman or anything dangerous, I was like, I'm out. I can't even, I shut down. I can't even go there with you. And
those are the things that you just subliminally you don't necessarily think about when you're thinking of, oh, he's a firefighter, oh, he's a cop. You're thinking about the calendar, and you think that that's what it is. Most of those guys don't look like that, by the way. But you think about the calendar guy, and that's what you want to take home. But there are so many other things that go along with it that you have to take into account as well.
Totally.
And I mean, we can tell you this all
I'm going to be, and you know, jokingly, but half jokingly, kidding, not kidding, you know, fireman, super hot, runs into a fire, now you're dating a burn victim. I mean,
bad. I mean, you don't know.
Bad. And do I have it in me? Do I have it in me to take care of him? God forbid something happens.
Legitimate.
No, not so much.
And so some people like the safety allure.
Got to be really honest with yourself and what it is that you want and what you don't, and that's it. And there's nothing wrong with it. You just have to own it. Own it.
I would on the codependency thing. We do have a video that we posted on our Facebook group. A story I did last night. It's on there. It's only about 40 seconds or so. Take a look at that. It kind of goes into the codependency and why people hold on to bad relationships. Yeah. So there's just more stuff for you to find on our Facebook group. Love and Tacos.
Love and Tacos. Head over to join that group. There are good discussions, good content up on that group. Love and Tacos on Facebook.
And all the links to any of the stories, references, and also to the podcast in case you need it for some reason. If you're listening to us, hopefully you have the link. But in case you need it and want to share it, feel free to do that as well.
Yeah.
So I think we've touched on with it. We're not getting too deep in there because everybody's personal preference on job positions and job titles are a little different.
Yeah.
So, it's just something that you kind of have to work through, I think, on your own as you go through this whole mess of a journey, because you might find the best cop, you might find the worst cop, you might find the best news anchor or entrepreneur out there, you might find a wantrepreneur. It's just, you got to go through this journey with the rest of us, and if it works, let us know. If it sucks, let us know. We'll talk about it either way. And one quick thing before we get out of here this week, Lisa, in case you guys don't know, our very own Lisa Concepcion from Love and Tacos was on national news.
I was.
Yesterday.
It was on national TV, very serendipitously.
The show called Right This Minute, where they do segments on viral videos, used Lisa's video when she was in New York City and randomly ran across a couple who was getting proposed. I want to play a clip for you right now.
Is it working?
It's got to load.
Oh, my.
You know how these things
here it is.
Hey, good morning. It's me, Lisa Concepcion. I am taking a little walk on the High Line. New York City. It's actually a little bit warmer. Big 40 degrees.
Lisa Concepcion is a certified love life coach and the founder of LoveQuest Coaching. This particular morning, she was in New York for a wedding and decided to take a little stroll.
And it's just gorgeous out today.
She's got her man there with her. He's in sales, but photography is his passion. So he's there taking pictures. So she says that she does these live videos often to communicate with her followers. And a lot of times she gives them advice.
Motivation, inspiration, advice, whatever. And I'll give this one to the couples. Get away. If you can get away a little jaunt every 90 days.
As she continues to talk about love.
I love writing. This is the magic I do, these people.
Wait, did somebody say love?
He just proposed to her right here. This marriage proposal right here.
And that man's taking the picture as well.
Yes.
Hey, look at it. Everything came full circle.
Yeah, she's recording the video. He's got the stills.
Now I'm waiting for her to go, here's my card. You guys need any coaching? Do this.
That happens.
Did you give them a business card? Did you exchange numbers?
Of course. We exchanged information because I wanted to give them the video and they could find me online and get the video. And she put it on her Instagram, like a snap of it. And then days later, I get this email and I got hammered. I was like, right from Facebook, Instagram. These people hunted me down and they were like, we want to use your footage. And now there's another one. And they were asking for permission, like they needed, rights from everybody to use. Yeah, so we're dealing with that now, but who knows, this thing could turn into a very warm holiday marriage proposal, season's greetings, uplifting for the holidays. So very
As
cool.
much as I want to say it's a coincidence, knowing you and the vibe you put out there, it's almost like you brought it along with you.
I mean, I was there in New York, New Jersey for my cousin's wedding, so I was vibing happy. I was excited to see my family. That wedding was taking place probably like 6 hours after this video happened. I was on the High Line. I love New York, my home city. And I just started shooting a Facebook Live. And I was like, all right, cool. So let me just shoot this Facebook Live. La la la, walking around, showing the High Line. And as I'm walking, boom, this guy drops to his knee. I'm looking at this like, are you kidding me right now? And I'm all about law of attraction, right? So my vibe certainly attracts some cool love stuff. And that was one. So I went ahead and, filmed it and posted it on my Facebook. And these national media people, they know how to find good segments and good stuff. So
and now this couple's probably going to get taken care of for their wedding as well, because they're involved in all of this as well.
I mean, that would be amazing. That would be great if this thing blows up viral and then like money comes from it and I can gift them with a nice wedding engagement gift. How fun. That would be great.
And then we can get them on the show once we figure out how to get.
Yes, Mike and Teresa. Mike and Teresa.
So Lisa will, because you have the clip, Lisa will post the video or the link to it at least on our Facebook group. Make sure you go there as well.
Yeah, you can check it out.
We've got a lot of good programming coming up for you guys. Send us your ideas and your thoughts. I mean, some of these things we just come up with on the spot.
I know.
And so we want to talk about what you have going on in your dating relationships, because Lisa is the coach.
Yeah.
Tap into her resource.
Yes. You can find me also.
Website.
Yeah, you can find me at LoveQuestCoaching.com. I have a free love life assessment there that I do. Just fill that out and you'll hear from me probably within a week. Yeah.
And it's a really easy assessment too. Like, it's something you can knock out on the website.
10 minutes. And the more you put into it, the better I can assess. But, it doesn't take long. You could get yourself a glass of wine and do the assessment in love life.
And have some fun together doing it.
Yeah.
So find her online. Find me at Robert Burns TV. We have our Love and Tacos playlist as well on Apple Music. If you're looking for something to listen to, we add songs to that continuously throughout the week. So that'll wrap it up for this episode, talking about what the hell is with your job title. If it's not good enough, make it up, I guess.
Thanks,
Lisa. We'll talk to you next week.
Peace out.